Mataji, Dandvat Pranam, all glories to Srila Prabhupada and Guru Maharaj. Thank you so much for joining.
Hare Krishna Puja Mataji and all the summer devotees. Dandvat Pranam. Shri Prabhupada ki jai, Guru Maharaj ki jai. This is Shyama Rasika Devidasi from Germantown, Maryland.
Hare Krishna Mataji, Dandvat Pranam, all glories to Srila Prabhupada and Guru Maharaj. Thank you so much for joining.
Hare Krishna Mataji, please accept my humble obeisances. All glory to Srila Prabhupada and Guru Maharaj. This is Nikunja Rasada from Germantown, Maryland.
Hare Krishna Prabhuji, Dandvat Pranam, all glories to Srila Prabhupada and Guru Maharaj. Thank you so much for joining. Anybody else who would like to announce their name? Okay, Hare Krishna devotees, Dandvat Pranam, all glories to Srila Prabhupada, all glories to Guru Maharaj. Today we are so fortunate to have His Grace Hema Gopi Mataji from Mayapur. And today Mataji is going to enlighten us of Srimad Bhagvatam, Canto 8, verse 1, chapter 13. Hare Krishna Mataji, Dandvat Pranam. Whenever you are ready, please take over the call.
Hare Krishna Mataji. Thank you for waiting for me. Because of bad weather, the internet connection is very poor. I've been trying for quite some time. I couldn't get connected. Sorry about that.
No problem, Mataji. You are not late. We just finished our greetings and you can start the class now. Hare Krishna.
Thank you.
Thank you so much, Mataji.
We will start with the Jai Radha Madhava. Prayers to Radha Madhava. Jai Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari Jai Radha
Madhava Kunj Bihari
Jaya Gopi Janavallabha Girivaradhari
Jaya Gopi Vallabha Girivardhari
Yashodanandana Braja Janaranjana
Yashodanandana Brajarajanandana
Yamuna Tira Vanachari
Yamuna Tira Vanachari
Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari
Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari
Hare Krishna Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Hare Rama 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 Hare Hare
Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Jaya Radha Madhava Radha Madhava Radhe
Jaya Jaya Radha Madhava Radha Madhava Jaya Radhe
Jaya Pancha Tattva Jaya Pancha Tattva Jaya Pancha Tattva Jaya Pancha Tattva
Jaya Pancha Tattva Jaya Pancha Tattva Jaya Pancha Tattva Jaya Pancha Tattva
Jaya Narsimha Dev Jaya Prahlad Maharaj. Narsimha Dev Jaya Prahlad Maharaj.
Jaya Narsimha Dev Jaya Prahlad Maharaj. Jaya Narsimha Dev Jaya Prahlad Maharaj.
Jaya Jagannatha Jaya Jagannatha Baladeva Jaya Subhadra Devi.
Jaya Jagannath Jaya Jagannath Jaya Balram Dev Jaya Subhadra Devi.
Jaya Jaya Prabhupada 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 Jaya Jaya Prabhupada.
Jaya Jaya Prabhupada Jaya Prabhupada Jaya Prabhupada Jaya Jaya Prabhupada.
Jai Gaura Hari Bol Hari Bol Hari Bol Nitai Gaura Hari Bol.
Nitai Gaura Hari Bol Hari Bol Nitaya Gauri Hari Bol.
Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya.
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 We are reading from Srimad Bhagvatam, Canto 8, Chapter 1, title Withdrawal of the Cosmic. Canto 8 is called Withdrawal of Cosmic Creations, and Chapter 1 is the Manus, Administrators of the Universe. So, in this chapter, we will be talking about all the 14 Manus. We are on text number 13. I will just read out because of poor internet connection. I don't have I cannot share the screen, so I will just read out the verse, and if it's possible, you can try to repeat if it's possible for you all. Savishvakaya Puruhuta Isha Savishvakaya Puruhuta Isha Satyah Swayam Jyotir Aja Puranaha Satyah Swayam Jyotir Aja Puranaha Dhattesya Janmadi Ajayatma Satya Dhattesya Janmadi Ajayatma Satya Tam Vidyayodasya Niriha Aste Tam Vidyayodasya Niriha Aste. So if anybody can repeat the verses, kindly do so.
Hare Krishna Mataji. Savishvakaya Puruta Ishaha Satyah Swayam Jyotiraja Puranaha Tattesya Janma Adayatma Shaktya Tam Vidyayodasya Niriha Aste. Hare Krishna.
More devotees.
Hare Krishna devotees, it's in our everyday chant conference call group, WhatsApp group. I send the verse. If anybody wants to read, please go in your WhatsApp group. You can click on that link.
Okay. Synonyms. Sa, the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Vishwakayaha, the total form of the universe. The whole universe is the external body of the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Puruhutaha, known by so many names. Ishaha, the Supreme Controller with full power. Satyaha, the ultimate truth. Swayam, personally. Jyotihi, self-effulgent. Ajaha, unborn, beginningless. Puranaha, the oldest. Dhatte, he performs. Asya, of this universe. Janmadi, the creation, maintenance, and annihilation. Ajaya, by his external energy. Atma Shaktaya, by his personal potency. Tam, the external material energy. Vidyaya, by his spiritual potency. Udasya, giving up. Niriha, without any desire or activity. Aste, he is existing untouched by the material energy. Translation. The entire cosmic manifestation is the body of the Supreme Personality of Godhead, the Absolute Truth, who has millions of names and unlimited potencies. He is effulgent, he is self-effulgent, unborn, and changeless. He is the beginning of everything, but he has no beginning. Because he has created this cosmic manifestation by his external energy, the universe appears to be created, maintained, and annihilated by him. Nonetheless, he remains inactive in the spiritual energy and is untouched by the activities of material energy. Purport. Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu says in his Sikshashtaka, Nam Nam Akhari Bahuda Nija Sarva Shakti. The Supreme Personality of Godhead has many names, which are all non-different from the Supreme Person. This is spiritual existence. By chanting the Hare Krishna Maha Mantra, consisting of the names of the Supreme Lord, we find that the name has all potencies of the person. The Lord's activities are many, and according to his activities, he has many names. He appeared as the son of Mother Yashoda. He is also the son of Mother Devaki, and therefore he is named Devaki Nandana and Yashoda Nandana. Parasya Shaktir Vividheva Sruyate. The Lord has a multitude of energies, and therefore he acts in multifarious ways. Yet he has a particular name. The Shastras recommend which names we should chant, such as Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. It is not that we have to search for some name or manufacture one. Rather, we must follow the saintly persons and the Shastras in chanting his holy name. Although the material and spiritual energies both belong to the Lord, he is impossible to understand as long as we are in the material energy. And when we come to the spiritual energy, he is very easy to know. It is stated in Srimad Bhagvatam 1:7-23. Mayam vyudasya chikchaktya kaivalya stita atmani. Although the external energy belongs to the Lord, when one is in the external energy, Mama Maya Duratyaya, he is very difficult to understand. However, when one comes to the spiritual energy, one can understand him. Therefore, in Bhagavad Gita 18:55, it is said, Bhaktya mam abhijanati yavan yas chashmi tatvataha. One who wants to understand the Supreme Personality of Godhead in reality must take to the platform of bhakti or Krishna consciousness. This bhakti consists of various activities: Shravanam, Kirtanam, Vishnu Smaranam, Pada Sevanam, Archanam, Vandanam, Dasyam, Sakyam, Atmanivedanam. And to understand the Lord, one must take to this path of devotional service. Even though the people of this world have forgotten God and may say that God is dead, this is not a fact. One can understand God when one takes to Krishna consciousness movement. And thus one can be happy. So it is just to give a recap of this chapter. Kindly excuse me for keeping my camera off. Just that it's poor internet connection and logging in itself was difficult. If my voice is not clear, kindly let me know and I'll try to move to another location where I can get better internet connection. I'll try to move around to see where I can get better connection. So to give a recap of what has been happening till now, in the beginning of this chapter, Parikshit Maharaj is making a special request to Sukadeva Goswami. And that request is that Parikshit Maharaj is telling to Sukadeva Goswami, I have heard about Swayambhu Manu, the first Manu. And you have explained about his whole dynasty, all the glorious devotees born in his family, and all the pastimes. Now, I would like to hear about all the other Manus. And why is it interesting to hear about all the other Manus? Because when there are different Manus, during their rule, the Supreme Personality of Godhead makes many avatars, many incarnations. So when Parikshit Maharaj is wanting to hear about all the Manus, he actually is telling not just about the Manus who are great personalities themselves, but also he wants to hear about all the activities of the Supreme Lord during these various Manus' rule. So currently, to give a bigger picture, one day of Brahma is called as a kalpa. And in a kalpa, there are 14 Manus. And currently, we are in the 7th Manu. The 7th Manu is the son of sun god. And he, the 7th Manu is said to, his name is Vishwashvata Manu. And he is born of sun god and his wife Saranyu. Yeah, Vishwaswan is the sun god and Sharanyu is his wife. And their son Vishwasvata Manu is the current Manu of the world. And Manu means what? Manu are the rulers of mankind. And so at different points in Brahma's day, different rulers come and they rule the entire creation and they set the rules for the human beings in particular. In fact, Prabhupada points out that the word man comes from the word Manu. So Manus are the ones who set the rules for the mankind, how people should live in this world. And currently, we are in 7th Manu, including Parikshit Maharaj's time. We were in the 7th, he was also in the 7th Manu's time. So he wanted to hear about the previous, Sukadev Goswami had talked about the first Manu, Swayambhuva Manu, who was born directly from Lord Brahma. So he wants to hear about the remaining 5 Manus and then the 7th Manu. And then there will be 7 more Manus in the future, and they will all be also having various incarnations of the Lord appearing during their rule. So he wanted to hear about all 14 of them. So that was his request. I'm not satisfied with hearing only about Swayambhuva Manu, who is the first Manu of this particular day of Brahma. I want to hear about all 14, and I want to hear about all the pastimes of the Lord that take place during this 14 Manus lifetimes. And Sukadeva Goswami, he explains that, okay, I will explain to you about all the different Manus. Like how you are interested, I will tell you. So Swayambhuva Manu is the first one. He has 5 children. And here Sukadeva Goswami talks about Akuti and Devahuti. And there is also, he has a daughter who was married to Daksha, Maharaj, the one who has the goat head, her name is Prasuti. So Akuti, Devahuti, and Prasuti are 3 daughters, and Priyavrata and Uttanapada are 2 sons. So they are all the children of Swayambhuva Manu. And in this particular section, already Sukadeva Goswami talked about Devahuti's son, who is Kapila. And in Canto 3, there's a huge pastime of Kapila, Dev, born Devahuti and Kardama Muni. So he has already talked about Devahuti. And also there is pastime of Daksha and Lord Shiva killing him and replacing his head with goat head and all. So now he is going to talk about the son of Akuti, who is called as Yagyamurti. And then he will talk about the other Manu, second, third, and all that. So he continues that when Manu, the first Manu, Swayambhuva Manu, when he was the ruler of this entire creation, he was very detached from his material senses. He did not want to enjoy his senses. So he gave up his sense of enjoyment, and he entered into the forest along with his wife Satarupa. And they practiced many austerities. In those days, the main austerity, in different yugas, there is a different types of worship. In the period that we are talking about, the meditation, the process of meditation was very famous. So Swayambhuva Manu was meditating on, he stood on one leg on the bank of river Sunanda, and he performed great austerities, mainly in the form of meditation. And he was meditating on the Paramatma form of the Lord. And as he was meditating, he was doing what is called as the Anvaha, means he chanted or murmured to himself something. Yeah, it is not like that he is talking to someone, but it is something like a self-talk. He is speaking to himself. It's called Anvaha. And what was he speaking to himself? He was speaking to himself the glories of Paramatma. He was talking about Paramatma form, on which, when people meditate, a natural thing that happens is when they realize they are soul, immediately they will also realize that they're not immediately, but shortly they will also realize that there is a super soul. So when you realize that you are soul, then you have Brahman realization. And when you realize, that I am spirit soul, when you understand that, that's called Brahman realization. And when you realize that next to the soul is also the super soul, then that's called Paramatma realization. So Manu was glorifying Paramatma, on whom he has been meditating. So from verse from verse 9 onwards, this glorification is happening. So it's not that he is going to be talking about Swayambhuva Manu, because already Parikshit Maharaj said, I've heard a lot about the first Manu. I want to hear about everyone else. So the pastime is in such that when they are meditating, then some Rakshasa, when Swayambhuva Manu is meditating, one Rakshasa comes, and that Rakshasa, not one Rakshasa, many of them are coming. Many demoniac creatures come to attack him. And then Yagyamurti, the son of Akuti, he will come to protect. He will destroy them and protect the meditation of Swayambhuva Manu. And then after that, there will be a description, because he was describing all the children of in the previous cantos, he was describing all the other children of Swayambhuva Manu, about Daksha, and who is married to daughter of Swayambhuva Manu. He was describing about Uttanapada, Priyavrata. He talked about everyone. So the only person who was left was Akuti. So he talked about his son Yagyamurti, who is a form of Vishnu. He appeared, the child is Lord Vishnu himself, and he was adopted by Swayambhuva Manu as his own son. And when he was meditating like this about the Supreme Lord, then some demoniac people attack, and then Yagyamurti protects him. Yeah, so that is the pastime. And we are in the section where Swayambhuva Manu is meditating on the Supreme Lord in the Paramatma form of the Lord. And of course, obviously, it's not the highest level of realization. So verses in verse number 9, Manu is saying the supreme living being has created this material world of animation. It's not that he was created by the material world. When everything is silent, the Supreme Being stays awake as a witness. So from that statement, we can understand the one who remains as a witness in the heart is Paramatma. The living entity does not know him, but he knows everything. So he is talking about Paramatma, and he is giving out the qualities of Paramatma, that he is a witness to everything. He is not created by the material world, even though he may exist in the material world, in the heart of every living being. He does not belong to the material world. He belongs to the spiritual world. Paramatma is a spiritual form of Lord who is present inside the heart of every conditioned living being, along with the soul. Soul is there and Paramatma is also there. Then in verse 10, 110, he explains that the super soul feature is present everywhere, wherever there are animate or inanimate beings. So the Paramatma is present in the body of animate living beings, means things that are moving around, and inanimate living beings, things that don't move, like trees. The ones that don't move, they stay fixed in one place, like mountains, trees. Even in those, Paramatma is present. And then in verse number 11, he talks about, although the Supreme Personality of Godhead constantly watches the activities of the world, no one sees him. However, one should not think that because no one sees him, he does not see. For his power to see is never diminished. Yeah. So just because we cannot perceive the super soul does not mean that he cannot perceive us. Like if we are sitting in some place where there is a partition, there is a wall in between. I am on one side, you are on the other side. I cannot see you. That means you cannot also see me. But in the case of Paramatma, that is not true. I may not be able to see Paramatma, but he is completely able to see everything that is happening, because his power to see is never diminished. It is not like us. that if we cannot see on the other side of the wall, the person on the other side cannot also see us. No, it is not like that. We cannot see what Paramatma is doing, but Paramatma can completely see us. So the soul is not able to, in general, perceive the presence of Paramatma in the heart. But the Paramatma can see everything that the soul is doing, and he constantly gives guidelines about how to live in this world so that one does not become entangled. So in the verse number 11 is therefore everyone should worship the super soul who always stays with the individual soul as a friend. So the term friend is used here. Yeah, he is somebody who is seeing everything you are doing, and he knows what you should actually do to get out of the material world, and he is giving you that guidance. And many times we will see that this happens to us all the time. There will be a voice that tells us not to do something or to do something, and if you follow that voice, then it will be good for you. Like when I few years ago I had a phone, and it was Gaur Purnima time. So I thought, okay, let me take the phone because I will make some photos and videos. But as I was taking the phone, I heard this voice very strongly in my heart. It's too much crowd. You may lose the phone. Don't take it. Don't take it. But as foolish as I am, I ignored the voice and I took the phone. And actually, I lost my phone on that day. Somebody stole in the crowd. My phone was lost. So, of course, Paramatma is not to tell us about phones and things. He is mainly meant to tell us about the spiritual world. Yeah, not just about the material world, but he is also our guide in the material world. I heard this beautiful pastime from one disciple of Bhakti Char Maharaj. I didn't hear, I read about it, that one time she was beaten up in the road, and she just fell down, and the guys who were beating her up thought that maybe she died. So they went away. And then she heard a voice in her heart which said, "Now is your time, get up and run." So she immediately got up and ran. And as she was running away, she could hear that actually those men were coming back, probably to make sure that she was killed, so that she will not make any, like complaints or anything. So because of hearing the voice of Paramatma, she actually saved herself. If she was just lying down there, "Oh, I'm so hurt, I'm in so much pain, let me just be here in the ground," probably those men would have come and make sure that she is dead. So the voice of Paramatma also many times helps us from the dangers of material world. But the main role of Paramatma as our friend is to guide us towards the spiritual world, make us go towards the spiritual world. And verse 12, the Supreme Personality of Godhead has no beginning, no end, and no middle. Nor does he belong to a particular person or nation. He has no inside or outside. The dualities found within this material world, such as beginning and end, mine and theirs, are all absent from the personality of the Supreme Lord. So all these qualities that describe the material nature. Material nature had a beginning. The Lord created it. There is a middle time. It exists, and then there will be an end to the material creation. So anything that has beginning, end, and middle is a material object. So Paramatma does not have beginning, middle, or end. And anything that has inside and outside duality, that is material. Anything that has an identification towards a nation or as belonging to somebody, it is a material designation. So Paramatma does not have any of these material dualities. He is not an enemy of anyone. He is not a friend of anyone. He does not belong to only one religion. He does not belong to the material world. And he is completely transcendental. And verse number 13, here Prabhupada highlights about the potency of the Lord. The Lord's potency, the first potency Prabhupada talks about is the name of the Lord. Yeah, that the Lord has unlimited names. And Srila Prabhupada talks about Lord Chaitanya's prayers about the names of the Lord. Yeah, that Lord Chaitanya in the Shikshashtakam, he is saying the verse Namna Makari Bahuda Nija Sharva Shaktis Tatrarpita Niyamita Smarane Nakalaha. So how does the Paramatma show his blessing towards the living entity? How does he show? Of course, how is he friend? He's showing us the path to the spiritual world. Even in the material world, he can protect us in some dangerous situations. But the special blessing of Paramatma is the millions of names and how much power is there in all of those millions of names. And yeah. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu says that I'm trying to read the translation accurately. Just 1 second. Yes, it is from Chaitanya Charitamrita, Antya Leela, 2016. Nam Akari Bahuda Nija Sarva Shaktis. Tatrarpita Niyamitaha Smaranena Kalaha. Etadrishi Tava Kripa Bhagavan Mamapi Durdaivam Idrisham Ihajani Nanuragaha. Lord Chaitanya has left only eight Sanskrit verses as his personal writing. There are many books written about Lord Chaitanya and his teachings. But personally, he himself has left only 8 verses. And these 8 verses are called Sikshashtaka. And these 8 verses talk only about chanting. And the third verse is, My Lord, O Supreme Personality of Godhead, in your holy name, there are all good fortune for all living entity. And therefore, you have many names such as Krishna and Govinda by which you expand yourself. You have invested all your potencies in those names, and there are no hard and fast rules for remembering them. My dear Lord, although you bestow such mercy upon the fallen conditioned souls by liberally teaching your holy names, I am so unfortunate that I commit offenses while chanting the holy name, and therefore I do not achieve attachment for chanting. So this is one of the 8 prayers of Lord Chaitanya. And this particular verse that Swayambhu Manu is talking has as a similar meaning, which talks about the power of the holy names. That there are millions and millions of holy names of the Lord, and they're all unlimited in potency. They're all unlimited in power. And if we can chant these holy names of the Lord, like the Hare Krishna Maha Mantra, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. When we chant these holy names of the Lord, they have the power to destroy our material existence, because these names are non-different from Krishna. If you go to Krishna, you simply go to the spiritual world. Similarly, if you go to Krishna's holy name, then you also go to the spiritual world. So there is no difference between Krishna and Krishna's name. Srila Prabhupada points it out by giving the example of Coca-Cola. If somebody is thirsty and if they simply chant Coca-Cola, 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 their thirst will not quench. They will not feel the satisfaction of having uh, drunk that Coca-Cola. But if somebody wants to achieve Krishna, if they simply say Krishna, 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 Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Yashoda Nandana, Devaki Nandana, Govinda, and Krishna, if they simply chant the names of the Lord, then they would get the same benefit as having been in touch with the Lord, because Lord and his names, being in touch with the Lord's name is same power as being in touch with the Lord himself directly. So that is the first point Prabhupada makes in the purport. From the prayers of Manu, Swayambhuva Manu, this is the first point Prabhupada makes, that the Lord has millions of names and all of them have unlimited potency. So devotees should chant them. And Chaitanya Mahaprabhu puts himself in our position and he tells, I'm so unfortunate that I commit offenses while chanting the holy name. Therefore, I do not achieve attachment for chanting. So when we chant with offense, it is not that Krishna's name has changed in any way, but the way we accept Krishna's name changes depending on the purity with which we chant. When we chant Shuddha Nama, 100% pure holy name, the power of Shuddha Nam is such that even when we are you just imagine this whole material universe, and we imagine every possible sin that one can commit in this material universe, in every possible life form, in every possible planet, and all the lokas, all the realms, all kinds of sins, all of that put together, and one Shuddha Nama, one pure name of chanting, one pure name of Krishna chanted, they cannot be a match. That one name can destroy the sin of all those sinful activities and more. It is not that is the power, and more. It can destroy even more than whatever sin is existing in this world, that and even more. That much of sin one can completely destroy by chanting one pure name. And then if you cannot chant Shuddha Nama, but if you are chanting with Nama Bhas, means it is a stage of chanting where you may be chanting accidentally. You are not chanting with offense, but you are also not chanting consciously. Like that it happened in the story of Ajamil. Ajamil was chanting. When he saw the Yamadutas, Ajamil called out, Narayana, Narayana, Narayana. But he wasn't chanting Lord Narayana's name, thinking of Lord Narayan. He was simply calling out for his son. If he was calling out the name thinking of Lord Narayan, that would be pure chanting. But he simply called out for his son. And at that time, he called out with a mood of helplessness and with a mood of wanting to be protected. Yeah. So that kind of uh, chanting is called a reflection of chanting. Abhas. It's not the real chanting, but it's like a reflection of chanting. And And that kind of chanting, even that kind of chanting can destroy one's sins completely. Even that kind of chanting. And we can see that happening in the case of Ajamil, that he was completely freed from all of his sinful activities. So the so even a Nam Abhas can give freedom from all kind of sins. So then how is Shuddhanam special? Shuddhanam is special because not only will it destroy all the sins of all the entire universe, just one name, but it can also bestow prema, Krishna prema. So in that way, Shuddhanam is the highest form or the purest form of chanting. And the next level of chanting is Nama Abhas, where we don't chant with offenses, but we are not also very conscious that we are chanting Krishna's name and in a prayerful way and asking for service to the Lord. It is like a reflective chanting. And third level, of course, is the offensive chanting. That is what Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is talking about in Shikshashtaka. And he says, I commit offenses while chanting the holy name, and therefore I do not achieve attachment for chanting. So that is how we can check ourselves. When we are chanting offensively, then chanting becomes very difficult. We will feel that it is so oof, when will this 16 rounds be over? Oof, when will I like stop? When will it when will I reach the stage that chanting 16 rounds will not be a hectic thing? So that and Nama Aparada is like when you have a big bowl of sweet rice, very nicely cooked with lot of milk and ghee and dry fruits and saffron and everything, and then somebody comes with a handful of sand and adds the sand inside. All of that nectar you cannot taste anymore because of the sand. So one should avoid this offensive or Nama Aparada chanting. And if one carries on with the hope, if one continuously keeps chanting with the hope of achieving Shuddha Nama, eventually all his that offensive mentality will go away, and chanting will become a very pleasurable, very happy experience. And Srila Prabhupada tells us that in order for helping us in progressing, there is not only Shravanam Kirtanam. Shravanam is hearing the chanting, Kirtanam is chanting the Lord's name. We can also do Vishnu Smaranam. Other practical aspects are also there that are like supporting Pada Sevanam, worshipping the lotus feet of the Lord, worshipping the deities, offering prayers, and being a servant of the Lord, and being a friend of the Lord, and surrendering oneself completely to the Lord. In different occasions, these things, the different angas of bhakti will also help us, depending on what we are doing. They will also help us progress in the path of devotional service. So one should take to chanting in a very, very, as much as possible in a pure way, and aim at least for pure Shuddha Nama, and perform other angas of bhakti like um, Archanam, Vandanam, Dasyam and all, because they will also help us progress in the path of devotional service. So to summarize today's class, Parikshit Maharaj is requesting Sukadeva Goswami to talk about the other Manus and all the other incarnations which who appeared during the time period of all the other Manus, not only Swayambhuva Manu. So Sukadeva Goswami talks about Yajnamurti, who is the son of Akruti, and he is an incarnation of Lord Vishnu, and is grandson of Swayambhuva Manu. And then after that, he will talk about the second Manu and then the third Manu and so on. And then eventually, in the process, in the whole of eighth canto, there will be so many. They will in from cantos in the eighth canto, from chapter 1 to 4, we will talk about all the first four Manus. Chapters 5 and 12 talk about Manus number 5 and 6. Chapter 13 to 14, they'll talk about Manus 7 to 14. Yeah. And then when they're talking about those Manus, they talk about some of the special incarnations of the Lord during that time, like Gajendra. At that time, the Lord appeared as Hari. And then churning of the milk ocean, the Lord appeared as Kurma and Mohini Murti. And then Bali Maharaj, at that time, the Lord appeared as Vamana. And then the last chapter, there is a description of Matsya Avatar. So in this particular chapter, so many incarnations during the different Manus and period, Parikshit, Sukadeva Goswami will explain to Parikshit Maharaj. So he starts with talking about Yagyamurti and how how when Swayambhuva Manu was praying, Yagyamurti came to save him from many demons who attacked. And this particular section we are looking at is the prayers of Swayambhuva Manu directed towards the Paramatma feature of the Lord. And he talks about how Paramatma is the friend of all living entities, how he is the witness, but he is aloof from the material world. He is not belonging to the material world. And in this particular verse, he talks about the millions of names of the Lord and their unlimited potency. And Prabhupada in the purport explains about chanting, the importance of chanting Hare Krishna Mahamantra, because it's a bona fide mantra, not a speculative mantra. And we looked at types of chanting, pure chanting that can award us Krishna Prema, Nama Abhas that can destroy all the sins, and Nama Aparad, which is worst form of chanting, which is similar to adding sand into a well-prepared sweet rice. And Prabhupada recommends that we should chant the pure names of the Lord, and we should perform also the other 9 processes of bhakti in order to help us progress in the path of devotional service. Thank you. If there are any comments or questions.
Hare Krishna Mataji, thank you so much for this very important class. How to chant properly. I wanted to ask you, what are the different types of Nama Pradha? And how about Vishnu Sahasranama? They say is very powerful. If you can tell me if it's one should do that on a regular basis as well. Thank you, Mataji.
How many types of Nama Aparadha are there? Generally, we talk about 10 offenses, 10 types of Nama Aparadha. In many centers around the world, many ISKCON centers around the world, after Mangalarti, devotees sit and chant this. Before they start chanting the Hare Krishna Mahamantra, they will recite the 10 offenses. I think these 10 offenses come from Padma Purana. To criticize a genuine devotee, to consider the name of the Lord to be equal to the name of demigods, and to disrespect spiritual master, and like that there are to commit sinful activities on the strength of holy name, associating with people who don't have faith in holy name, and inattentive chanting is the 11th aparadha, like that, and so generally those are considered as nama aparadha, and particularly Vishnu Sahasranama. What is the question regarding that, Mataji?
I know it's a very powerful mantra, Mataji, Vishnu Sahasranama. I mean, reciting is it's very powerful. So, yeah, so I'm asking, is it equally powerful as the Maha Mantra?
Oh no. Prabhupada in one lecture gives a equation, like some kind of mathematical equation about the potency of the different names. So they say that when you chant Vishnu's name, it is chanting 1,000 names of Vishnu is equivalent to chanting one name of Rama. And chanting 3 names of Rama is equivalent to chanting one name of Krishna. So if when you're chanting one time name of Krishna, then that is equivalent to chanting 1,000 names, 3,000 names. It's like equivalent to reciting 3,000 names of 3,000 names of Vishnu. Like Sahasranama means 1,000 names, right? So if you chant Vishnu Sahasranama 3 times, the equivalence is, I think this is from Jaiva Dharma. I'm not sure, but if somebody has a reference for it, please chant. I think this is from Jaiva Dharma, right? The one name of Krishna is equal to 3 names of Rama, and one name of Rama is equivalent to 1,000 names of Vishnu. This is I'm 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 not able to get the reference for it, but I have heard Prabhupada say it, and I think it is from either Jaiva Dharma or some kind of, I'm actually not sure. I think it's from Jaiva Dharma. If somebody knows the reference for it, kindly chant. So we don't have to chant Vishnu Sahasranama
Yes,
3,000
Mataji.
times a
It's from
day.
Deva Dharma.
We don't have to chant, we could just chant one time Krishna's name. We would have gotten same blessings as having chanted Vishnu Sahasranama thrice, no, 3,000. And,
Right.
and Maha Mantra, as the name says, it is the greatest of all mantras. And it is the mantra recommended by Lord Chaitanya himself personally. So that is our path. And for us, it is the mantra that Srila Prabhupada has given us. This is what we get during our initiation. So that it should be given the highest priority when we chant.
Thank you, Mataji. So, inattentive chanting is also Nama Prada, right? Sometimes. Yeah.
Yes.
Okay. I mean, it can be less effective, but being an aparadh is a big thing, you know. If it is less effective, is still acceptable, but if it's an aparadh, then one should totally be, careful.
It is the most, in fact, of we don't call it enough. Being inattentive comes as number 11. It doesn't come into the count of the 10, but sometimes it can be more dangerous than other 10, because as devotees we are philosophically well trained to avoid the other aparadhas. We will not think the devotee is ordinary person, or Krishna's name is equivalent to the name of demigods. We will not disrespect spiritual master because we are trained into those things. But inattentiveness can lead to all of these things, and we won't even be conscious that it is happening. So that it becomes like the pathway to all the other offenses. So if we stop inattentive chanting, the chance of committing other aparadhas goes down very drastically. Inattentive chanting is like the gateway for other kind of offenses to come in, to seep in. So in some sense, in that sense, it is very dangerous. Inattentive chanting in itself is not any kind of offensive mentality per se. Like when we are not attentively chanting, we are not doing Guru Ninda, Sadhu Ninda, Shastra Ninda. We are not doing any of that. We are not offensive towards Guru, Sadhu, or Shastra. We are just being in our own world. But just being in your own world can lead to all of that. When Indra was on the elephant and when his spiritual master was walking by, he was just being in his own world of being the king of the heavens. And when the spiritual master gave him a garland, he put it on his elephant's head. So and then the elephant threw it, and that became the root of the whole ocean, churning of the ocean. So sometimes us being inattentive can become the, it is not just can, it will become the pathway of all the other nonsense to creep in. We may not respect devotees because we are inattentive in chanting. There's no cleansing going on, so we may forget the power of devotees. Somebody who looks simple, we may think they are simple. So like that, we don't know how it will crawl in. So most dangerous is inattentive during chanting.
Thank you, Mataji. Very helpful.
Thank you, Mataji.
Hare Krishna, Mataji.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna Mataji, Madan Pranam to you, Shri Prabhupada ki jai, Guru Maharaj ki jai, and Taran Pranam to all the devotees on the call too. Mataji, like when you mentioned about inattentive chanting, that's why it is recommended that we should sit in one place and give our time to Krishna, and not like, when we talk about inattentive chanting, it's mostly like, if we are walking, it becomes inattentive. Too much eyes are open, looking here and there becomes inattentive. Mind is thinking, chattering. So all these things are part of how to avoid inattentive chanting, right? The solution to inattentive chanting, I just wanted to stress on that, is basically just being in one place, allot a place. Like even the Bhagavad Gita, it says, you take a place like a kusha grass. I mean, of course, we're not doing that, but and then just sit there and with a straight back and just chant the continuously for 2 hours. Sit there and chant. So that's ideal, which will stop us from inattentive chanting. But correct me, Mataji, if I'm wrong, or please add something. And it just your class is so wonderful. Really enjoy your association through this class. Thank you, Mataji.
Thank you, Mataji. What I have observed in my many years of chanting and what I've heard from senior devotees is it's never a good idea to be alone in spiritual practices. It is better to stay in that temple atmosphere where everybody is chanting, than to go away somewhere and try to see if I can in that ekaki and all is it is true for Ashtanga yoga, but Bhakti yoga, Srila Prabhupada always emphasizes that fall down is less when we are in group. We all will help each other and we will all will support each other and chant together. I remember when nowadays I don't see Jananivas Prabhu, Pankajangri Prabhu. I don't see Jananivas Prabhu so much, but Mangala they would come for Mangalarti every day and they would sit and chant and they would get up, walk around and chant. And sometimes when they would doze off, somebody will come and gently tap their back. And they would do it for other devotees. When some other devotees are like dozing off, they will come and they will gently give a tap, and the kind of energy you feel in the presence of devotees, the wanting to be chanting nicely when we are walking around Tulasi and chanting, or sitting next to other devotees and chanting, that is like, that experience is totally different from sitting in, I most of the time I'm just standing in my balcony and chanting, by myself. Or I'm watching Mangalarati in mute and I'm chanting, because after Mangalarati, right away, I will have something to do before my service starts. Let's cook and offer and wake up deities and do the service, because the day starts very early. So when Mangalarati is happening, I'll keep a mute and I have to chant. Or sometimes if I'm free, I stand outside in the balcony and chant, or I just go around and chant. But if I have time and if I'm very fortunate to sit and chant in temple, the potency is totally different. Maybe it's just my nature to show off, like when you're with devotees, when you see they're all chanting very seriously, you also want to chant very seriously, want to show people that you're very serious. So I've heard and I've experienced that the best way to chant is chant in the presence of devotees. And even if it's like a noisy room and all of that, like they're all jammed up, and it could be pretty especially small kids. Mataji side has more disturbance, no? Children will come and they want you to carry them, or they want to sleep after Mangalarati in your lap, something or other. But I would still say, let's chant, let's put the kusha grass and everything, but let's not be ekaki, let's be in the presence of Tulasi and devotees. That is my experience.
Thank you so much, Mataji. And you reminded me of many years back, I had gone to Sadhu Sangha in North Carolina, Boone. Beautiful blue mountains are there. So, the beautiful nature, mountains of Boone, and at the same time, Sadhu Sangha. And in the morning, I went for chanting, and everybody was chanting like very softly in a very big hall. And that is something which very hard for me to forget that two days, 3 days, I made sure I go for Mangal Aarti. And of course, even when you go to Vrindavan, I don't know, somehow or the other, like I won't boast about myself, but there I'm able to get up at 2:33, you know, to go there for chanting at the Krishna Balram temple. So there is definitely a potency where the devotees are there, and where there is these dham is there. And actually, yeah, it's like while talking to you right now, I realized that one time Srila Prabhupada quotes that Vrindavan, the devotees are carrying Krishna in that heart. Just correct me, the devotees are carrying Krishna in their heart by chanting the name, and they're carrying the dham also in their heart. So similarly, like Boone is a place where it was not like an ISKCON temple, but when we went there and devotees were there, it felt like Vrindavan. Because all those devotees were assembled, they were chanting and softly. I mean, it felt like I'm in Vrindavan that time, with the devotees. So you're right, absolutely. Thank you for giving that answer. I hope I can remember it for my lifetime. That association, whether it's noisy also, but still, just put yourself in the middle of the devotees and somehow chant then, and everything will be taken care of. Yes, Mataji, thank you so much. And also they say, like in analogy to this, that when we go to the temple, the 10 processes of bhakti, not 10. How many processes are there? 9 processes of bhakti. Yeah. Sorry, Mataji, my memory is going. 9 processes of bhakti are taken care once you go to the temple only. So at least once a week or twice a week, we should go to temple and take care of those 9 processes in our life. Again, it's linked to going to temple and devotees, Thank you, Mataji. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna,
Thank you.
Mataji.
Thank you.
Please accept my humble obeisances. All glory to Srila Prabhupada and Guru Maharaj. Yes, Mataji, it was very wonderful and nectarian to hear you today. And your classes are every day, that brings something new to us. And really, yeah, I agree, like the chanting has to be offenseless. I don't have a question, but I just want to share with you all and all devotees. Like whenever our Guru Maharaj visits our place, our location, so one day there is a chanting day when Guru Maharaj, announces that he will be chanting along with devotees. So Maharaj will be there exactly at 4:30, and Maharaj starts chanting. And the thing what you shared, like one has to sit and complete the all rounds in one shot. Like once you start in the morning, then you finish that without any offenses. So that go that makes it offenseless chanting. And we really enjoyed that chanting, or I can say we really got the benefit of being with our Guru Maharaj, His Holiness Radhanath Swami. Normally all devotees, whenever we meet anywhere else, so we practice the same. I used to be in New Vrindavan, like we used to sit together early morning and chant all 16 rounds, until the Guru Puja starts. So we are complete with all the chantings. Sometimes it is difficult to sit at one place. Then, you can make a circumambulation around the deity room or something, like, around Tulsi. Even that you can do. But, I really um, was very much, uh, you know, uh, very much excited to see when we did many years before also we did with Maharaj, and this time also when Maharaj visited DC area recently, we had a early morning chanting. And Maharaj don't get diverted by at all. It really gives us that potency to do the chanting without any offenses in one sitting.
Yes.
Yeah, Hare Krishna Mata.
Thank you for sharing that, Pro. That's so inspiring. Thank you for sharing.
Yes, Mata. Thank you.
Hare Krishna Mataji, yesterday we had this, every morning there's a quote that is uh, given in the class before the class starts. So, Shamrasika Devidasi Mataji yesterday said that we should chant anyways. Mataji, you remember that quote? So, I'm wondering if it is if causing any aparadh, then we should be careful and only do it when we can concentrate. Mataji? Because generally they say that even when you're walking, it is good to keep chanting 24/7 is silently in the mind. It should go on in the
Yes.
background. But
Yes.
but one doesn't want to do it if there's an aparadh. That's what I'm thinking now. But what would you say to that, Mataji?
Like, see, there is 16 rounds that we should chant attentively, minimum 16 rounds that we should chant attentively in a good quality, like sitting and listening to what we are chanting, and in the presence of devotees who are inspiring us, like that. The how to chant Shuddhanam, Prabhupada says, is very simple formula. Listen to what you're chanting, so that process, at least for 16 rounds, we should apply. Let me try to listen to what I'm chanting. Let me try to listen to what I'm chanting. That we can try for 16 rounds. And rest of the day, whenever we are walking, we are chanting, we are going away out somewhere, we are chanting, or we are cooking, we are chanting. We don't count those things as aparad. Aparad is a mentality. Aparad is something to do with the, if we look at Nama Aparad, we will not see something like it is wrong to chant when you are cooking, or it is wrong to chant when you are walking around. That is, we don't, it might be inattentive. We may not be chanting in a conscious way, but we will not be chanting with a mentality like, where there is a heart to blaspheme devotees, or to think of demigods to be equal to Lord Krishna or Vishnu, or with the idea of disobeying spiritual master. So those things, if they are happening, then our chanting becomes bad. And inattentive chanting can lead to many of those things. But it does not mean that we will not chant in the rest of the time. As long as those things are not happening. Let's say you're cooking and chanting. Okay, it is going to be very inattentive, because you're thinking, oh, where is dhania pata, where did I put jeera, like the head is somewhere else, and you may chant like half the Maha Mantra, and then you may stop because you are thinking of something else, and like, fire is big, I need to close the fire, whatever is the story, but none of it is aimed at being, like no faith or offensive attitude towards Guru Maharaj, or committing sinful activities, so it will not come as it will not come under offense. Inattentive chanting is when we are supposed to be chanting. At that time we totally space out and think about all the other things we have to do and all that, and we may not even see our Guru Maharaj walking past us, so invariably 24/7 we should chant. And if we are practicing our 16 rounds of chanting in a good quality way, the rest of the time also, whenever we are chanting, it will automatically and eventually and automatically become very good chanting. But that practice period of 16 rounds, that should be quality. That period we should not compromise. That is not a time where we think about dhania pata and jeera and pepper powder. That is bad.
Yeah,
But when
thank
you
you.
are cooking, and if you think about it, and you take back Krishna's name, that is okay. Even Mother Yashoda was doing that. She would sing the glories of Krishna when she is churning, and then suddenly Krishna wakes up, so she will say stop with the glories of Krishna to go and hold Krishna and give him milk. And then she will stop that when she sees the milk is overflowing. She will even drop Krishna so that she can go and close the fire. So those are all not counted as offenses, because we don't have that mentality.
Yes, Mataji. Thank you so much, Mataji. Hare Krishna.
Thank you, Mataji. I'm sorry, I may not. I am always borderline offensive chanting. I'm the least qualified to talk about it. But I'm very grateful to Prabhupada and Sham Rasika Mataji, because talking about it strengthens our own faith, makes us see how bad we are. Wants us to become better. So I'm grateful that I am able to think all these things because of your association. So thank you, all of you, for helping me think about these aspects.
Yes, Mataji, one more thing I would like to just add. When we meet some neophyte devotees, then initially we say, you chant, at least start chanting, when they are anxious towards this process, then we say, you just take this mala, at least chant one round. You can chant wherever you are, like it means you start the chanting basically, so that's what I wanted to add. So then once they come up to few rounds, then we normally recommend like you should chant in this way, that like sitting, and then it early morning chanting is better, so that's what I wanted to add. Yeah, Hare Krishna.
Thank you. Thank you. I'm so fortunate to be in association of all of you early morning chanters. Please bless me so I may do that too.
Yes, Mataji, you blessed us all, Mataji. Hare Krishna. Thank you, Mataji. Hare Krishna.
ग्रंथराज श्रीमद् भागवतम की जय, श्रील प्रभुपाद की जय,
Jai.
समवेत
Jai.
भक्त की
Jai.
जय।
Hare
Krishna
Krishna.
Mataji.
Hare Krishna.
हरे
Harges Himagopi Mataji ki jai.
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 Thank you so much,
Hare
श्रील
Krishna.
Mataji, for
प्रभुपाद
this.
की जय।
We are so fortunate to have you. Yesterday only, in the very short notice, you agreed to give this class, and you have internet problem, login problem, but still you are so dedicated to give the Bhagavad Katha to all of the devotees. So thank you so much, Mataji. Hare Krishna. It's so
Thank
nice.
you.
Hare Krishna,
Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna.
Hare Bol.
Hare Bol. Hare Bol.
Srimad Bhagavatam ki jai.
Ki Jai.
Hare Bol.
Hare
Hare
Bol.
Hare Bol.